All right, this week I got a special guest. He is a retired Lieutenant Colonel, Erik Kramer. Welcome to Indian Motorcycle Radio.
Thank you very much. Appreciate you having me, Ken.
Man, you contacted me about something really, really dear to my heart: motorcycles, military service, and helping people. Tell me about Survivors of Special Operators, about your group.
Right. Well, Special Ops Survivors was formed right after September 11th by an active duty Navy SEAL, Nick Roca. And he saw a gap in helping the widows of special operations personnel across all services who were killed in combat or in line of duty, such as training. When there's a casualty in the military, there is a flood of resources that immediately goes to the family, and they're overwhelmed. As you can imagine, it's the worst possible event that can happen in someone's life, a loved one. So there's a flood of resources from both the government and nonprofits. But then after about 2 to 3 months, it sort of dries up and there's dead air. So we like to say we come in, the Monday after. We usually try to reach out at about the 6-month mark after there's a passing. And we have a pretty extensive network, so we don't do a cold introduction. We usually have a warm introduction, someone who knows the survivor, the widow, or the widower. And we reach out at the 6-month mark. We've also found that sometimes it takes 2 or 3 times reaching out. So a lot of our survivors, they don't come on board with us until about the 2-year mark. And what we do is the biggest thing is we provide a community of fellow survivors. That is actually the biggest thing we do. So they know they're not alone. There's folks they can reach out to who've been down this path, recovery and resiliency. And our goal is to provide them a lifetime community of fellow survivors. And the biggest thing besides that is resiliency, help them through their grief journey and rebuild themselves, rebuild their lives. And so we have programs that are designed to do that. Our most popular is our education grants. So they're not like the GI Bill or some of the more traditional education opportunities out there, where it's just for a brick and mortar bachelor's degree or associate's degree. We provide funds for everything from that to law school, to med school, to Pilates certification, personal training, emergency medical technician certification, you name it. So that's our most popular program. It picks up, it fills a gap where a lot of those other programs will not allow the non-traditional avenues of education. Number one. Number two, emergency funding. So the example I give is the hurricanes that hit Fort Bragg, Fayetteville, North Carolina several years ago. A lot of our survivors had significant damage. And we had some older survivors who were living on fixed income. We reached out to some local contractors who at cost helped us rebuild, their roofs and their decks with several. So emergency funding, that's number two. We also have child care, emergency child care assistance, counseling as well with certified counselors and doctors. One of our biggest and most successful or popular programs actually is it's called the Forget Me Not program. So what it is whenever there's a major anniversary in a survivor's life, whether it's a birthday, a hero's death anniversary, Valentine's Day, Christmas, we'll just send them a little token of appreciation, that they're not forgotten. Might be cookies, might be just a card, might be seeds. And that has proven to be the most popular program. When I first came on board, I was looking at our finances and I went, okay, where's the biggest bang for the buck? And I looked at this program and I had a resounding, from the survivors, do not cut this program, keep this program. It means so much to us. So there's that. And then the final program we have resiliency retreat once a year where we try to bring all the survivors together. And we have a mix of fun with the hard stuff. So this year is virtual in October. We deal with tough subjects like suicide. As you can imagine, there's a lot of depression within the community, and especially the special operations community. There's just been an epidemic of suicides. And so we help them, deal with that, bring in counselors, bring in experts, the signs to look for their kids or themselves or other special operators. So there's that. And then the final program that we're developing is regional support groups, where there's a large community concentration of survivors, such as at Fort Bragg or San Diego with the SEALs, where we have peer counselors, peer training, where we train fellow survivors to help other survivors. So in the middle of the night, 2 o'clock in the morning, if they need help, there's someone local that can show up and help them. So that's who we are. That's who we help. We have approximately a little over 300 survivors active that we help. We touch them every month through emails, through virtual events. So we have a virtual event about every other month, but we touch them every single month. So it's definitely a community.
This is a family. This is taking care of people who have fallen, and you're going beyond. Man, that's outstanding. It all takes money though, and you guys are a small outfit. What are you doing now to try to like raise some funds?
Yeah, so it's a very valid point. I'm retired military, not a salesman. So the toughest part of this job for me is asking folks for help financially. Since COVID hit, all of our in-person fundraising events were canceled, as you can imagine, and a lot of our major sponsors, they were hurting too. So what we're doing now, the biggest thing, we have a motorcycle sweepstakes. We're giving away an Indian FTR motorcycle, customized by Dan Tochi, who's a very well-known Indian motorcycle customizer, valued at $30,000. Tickets right now are going for $25 a pop. So we had the kickoff at Sturgis, which was quite an event, August 6th in Sturgis, South Dakota. And the event runs until 24 December. The drawing will be 31 December, and we will ship that bike anywhere in the continental United States for free.
Nice. Yeah. So Dan Tochi of Tochi Performance, little shop out of Connecticut. That dude does a lot of really fancy exhaust stuff. And I'm going to put all the links so that you guys can participate and help this worthwhile event for special ops survivors. What made you latch on to Indian?
Well, obviously I personally like Indian motorcycles.
There you go. Good answer. Good answer.
Indian motorcycle. That was not pandering, by the way.
No, right.
But yeah, Indian motorcycles. When I've looked at bikes myself, Harley versus Indian.
Right.
Not to denigrate Harley, but it seems like Indian is more personal. It's I just like the brand. I like the bikes. They're very, very well made, as y'all know, aficionados. So that's why I latched on the Indian. And then one of our board members had a relationship or a friendship with the head of Polaris. Mm-hmm. And of course, Polaris owns Indian, and they donated a bike to us about a year. It was before COVID hit. So it was fortuitous. We were fortunate that it happened then. Yeah. So that's what latched on to Indian. And we've had to keep kicking the can down the road for the sweepstakes because we had to kick it off at Sturgis. And of course, with COVID, we had to be careful. So that's why Indian.
All right. So specialopsurvivors.org. You will find the links to that, and at specialopsurvivors.org/motorcycles-sweepstakes. There'll be a link for that as well. How can folks contact you if they want to get more information or do anything to help out specialopsurvivors.org?
Well, Ken, as you mentioned, our website, specialopsurvivors.org. And then also I'll give out my work email. I have no problem with that. Erik, ERIK, at specialopsurvivors.org. Keep in mind, SPECIALOPSSURVIVORS.org. So Erik at specialopsurvivors.org. I have no problem with anybody contacting me personally. This is I see what I'm doing now as a continuation of my service. I was in for 26 years in special forces, and then continued service. And,
Ooh.
yeah, I was CEO of a tech startup, and I realized that I wanted to do more. I wanted to give back. And this opportunity fell in my lap. Of course, I'm sure God had a hand in that. And so I jumped on it. And again, it's a continuation of my service. A lot of the people, the survivors that I'm helping, I knew their husbands personally. Uh, so it's very, very personal. So how to help, reach out to me directly or go directly to our website.
Which is specialopssurvivors.org. But I remember when I was doing facilitations, I always said, if you say something 5 times, it sticks in people's heads. It's a foot stomp. It's a commercial. I want to make sure that the Colonel gets you guys' attention. Brother Kramer, thank you, man, for being on the show. Anything that I can share that I didn't ask that would be good for the order?
I would just say that keep in mind we're a shoestring operation. We only have one full-time employee, so just know that your money goes to the programs. I can guarantee it. Every penny that goes out, I put it this way: when I buy a book of stamps, I send it to our treasurer. That bill, every penny that goes out is accounted for. That's a personal promise to me. It's not going to go to overhead. We don't have brick and mortar, real estate, or anything. Everything is dedicated to our programs.
You heard it first here. Take care of your own, y'all. Remember the fallen and their families. Commitment, honor, sacrifice. Lieutenant Colonel Erik Kramer, thank you for being a part of Indian Motorcycle Radio.
Thank you, Ken.